God strategically allowed me to go through that so that I can be this person that I am today. I have to do and control what I can control, and that's me and my perspective and how I respond to situations. Once you turn 20, everything is now your responsibility.
Yeah.
You have to take charge of your life. It's gonna be highs and lows. Right now is the time to start fixing it. Ask the right questions, get around the right people. I promise you, you're gonna be good, bro.
All right, y'all. Listen, man, this is going to be a good episode. I can already tell. Because we had a great conversation beforehand. I'm liking the energy in the room. I'm a big energy guy. So I like the energy in the room. We have a really dope guest. Someone that y'all probably have seen before on social media. Him and his wife talking about finances and relationships and planning a lot of dope things. I've definitely shared some stuff with Naima. Don't ask me if we've implemented it yet. We have not. Okay, we have not, but we getting there. We getting there. It's saved in one of those collections that you save everything in, right? And you're like, yo, I gotta get to this later. So for those of you guys that are new here, thank you for being here. Thank you for tapping in with us. If somebody said this to you, that means that they care about you. They value you as a friend, as a brother, right? And they want you to actually win, right? And they want you to actually be better as a man. They care about your relationship, your status, all the things that you're doing, and they want you to actually win. So take heed to what you're learning today, because we're going to talk on a lot of different things. If you are an existing listener, that means you've listened before or you've shared something from our platform in any way, shape, or form. We want to say thank you, because without people like you, we don't get to a new audience. We don't grow to the place that we are today. And we don't help to impact the black men in the community. And so that's what this platform is about. It's about impacting people, impacting black men, helping black men through all facets of their lives. And relationships is one of those big pieces that we deal with that I think drives us to make a lot of different decisions, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. And so we're going to talk about that today. Without further ado, we have Durelle Bailey.
My guy.
My guy, thank you for being here. Thank you for making the drive out.
Man, absolutely, bro.
Before we get into anything, I need to ask you, how are you doing, bro? How's everything?
Man, I'm blessed. I can't complain, man. You know, one of the things that I was thinking about this morning, actually, when I woke up, is how busy I am. Like, I got so much going on, and I was like, today is going to be one of those days where I get to rest, but I also get to have some really good conversation. Today is like a mental health day, but it's also like a express yourself day. I can actually get on here and talk about some really good stuff. So I'm excited to dive into some conversation, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
I'm glad, man. I'm happy to have you here, bro, for real, because like I said, bro, you're someone that I've seen on social media, seen the content. I felt like it was very impactful. And I'm a person that's very solution oriented.
Yeah.
I don't like just having conversations about the same thing over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I think it's important for us, especially as men, we're looking for solutions.
Yeah.
And so when I seen your content on social media, I'm like, damn, this is a solution to a problem.
Facts.
Like, and this is a comprehensive solution. Like, you didn't leave any stone. Like, y'all really went deep into, like, this is how you do it, step by step by step. So we'll talk about that. But before we get into that, bro, I want to ask you about your upbringing a little bit. Your mom was 16 when she had you?
She was 16, man.
What was that like, bro? Please.
Yeah, dude, man. So it was actually, it was tough.
Okay.
It was tough growing up, man. I had a very tumultuous upbringing, honestly. You know, born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Broward County, shout out Florida. You know, we went through it, man. We had a really rough time, right? So I moved probably about 12 times by the time I was 15 years old.
Really?
That's not because we was in the military. That's not because she was getting a bunch of different jobs. It's because we were struggling financially.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Eviction, and after eviction, car repossessions, get home, the lights are off, right? My dad wasn't in my life. You know, he was kind of in and out of jail, that kind of thing, and raising another family. And so we went through it, man. And a lot of my mom's issues kind of poured in onto me. You know, I was her only child, you know what I'm saying? And so we had a rough relationship, which actually impacted my mental health on a really, really high level, man. I was a very anxious kid because of a lot of stuff, not only that we were going through, but a lot of stuff that she put on me. And so yeah, it was rough, man. It was rough.
Did you feel like you had to grow up quick?
I definitely had to grow up quick.
What did that look like for you? Yeah.
I had to mature for me and for my mom. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, explain that. Yeah.
Yeah. So my mom had a lot of hurt and a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. And so, you know, her dad wasn't in her life, and she had a lot of issues with relationships. And so for me, she took a lot of her anger out on me. She took a lot of her guilt out on me, a lot of her shame out on me, different things like that. And so I always felt like I needed to be kind of the man of the house really early on. And I had to be, very, how can I say, sharp for her, because she was not always on her game. She was a very smart person, but she was she just felt like she had it to lie to get her way in a lot, when it came to a lot of different things and stuff like that. And so it forced me to grow up, because I felt like she was trying to present an image that we were all right. So I took that image to school, and I had to pretend like everything was all right when it wasn't. Around my family, I had to pretend like everything was all right when it wasn't. Right. And so, it was tough in that aspect. I would say. Yeah.
Do you feel like that played a role in you maybe not being more open and honest about your feelings with folks? And like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I had a very, I tell people all the time I had like severe trust issues because of my mom.
Really? What did that,
Absolutely.
how?
She abused a lot of her relationships, especially with men. And so, for example, we'll be in the car driving somewhere, and she'll be telling one of her boyfriends, like, I'm in the car headed to take Darrel to basketball practice. We're not headed to basketball practice. Right. I'm in the car. We going to go do this. We going to go do that. She, just basically lying about different things. Right. And so, she put me through one of the hardest things I've ever went through in my life. And we can dive into that if you want.
I would love to. Go ahead. Tell me.
So when I was 16 years old, man, my mom, like I said, I can't diagnose her, but I do believe she was a pathological liar.
Okay.
And I was getting to the point to where I would call her out on her lies. Like, I was very afraid of my mom growing up, because she was the type of mom, she ain't play. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was really no level of punishment that matched the action, right? Like, no matter what it was, she would beat the living breaks. Like,
it was severe.
It was very severe.
Yeah.
And so when I was 16 years old, around 15, 16, I started calling her out on her stuff. You know what I'm saying? And a very specific situation happened. One day I came home from school, and I got off the bus, and we lived in these apartment buildings in Broward. And I'm walking through the rent office, and every day I would walk and I would stop by the rent office, talk to my guy, Derek. And Derek was the guy in the rent office. He took care of everybody around there. He was one of the folks that worked up there. And he looked at me with like this look of disgust on his face, like, bro, what's going on with you, man? Your mom told me what happened. I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, your mom told me that she got a call from the school saying you having sex with a teacher. Like, really, bro? That's what we doing?
What?
And I'm like, what? Like, are we serious right now? And she was like, yeah, this is why she's stressed out, can't pay the rent, because you out here acting up and you doing this. And I was like, I was really upset, bro. I was like, are you serious right now? She gonna say that? And so I told her, I was like, first of all, she's lying. And then I vented to him, and I kind of broke, and I opened up to him and told her about like how she was. And he was like, man, that's crazy. And so when I got in the apartment, I was like, why would you tell Derek that you got a call from the school that I was having sex with a teacher? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, and she was like, they actually called back and told me it was another Darrel. And I was like, so you gonna lie to me too now? I'm the only Darrel that go to Ely High School. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so that kind of trickled into us having a real big blowout. Like, we was arguing all night that night. I almost ran away that night. And that led to another situation to where we had a dog at that time, and the dog had peed or pooped in the house, whatever. And so she wanted the dog out the house, kicked the dog out. I went after the dog, and I brought the dog back home. And she went off on me. She started throwing plates at me and everything else. She was like, if I do something, you don't bring that dog back in this house. She had, we had family over at that time, a couple of family members. And anytime we had family members over, she needed to really flex how strong and powerful she was, how much authority she had. That's right.
Yeah.
And, that made me even more upset. And so that night I decided, I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this no more. So I went and got the dog, and I called my godmother, and my godmother came and picked me up around 2 a.m. So those two situations led to this. I ended up calling my goddad, and my goddad, we decided that I was going to go live with him for the summer. Okay. Now, this is right before my senior year of high school. And everything was in full swing. Everything was in motion. And so I went and I lived with him for the summer. And we decided that, I was going to come back, because I was asking him, could I just stay here for my senior year of high school? Yeah. He's like, absolutely. And my mom was like, no, you're going to come back. And when I got back, my grandmother picked me up from the airport, and I went to my grandmother's house. And one morning, I was there for about 2 weeks before school started. one morning, my grandmother wake me up. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, okay, you haven't talked to your mom all summer. Y'all haven't had any communication. It's time for you to go see your mom. I was like, okay. So I got my stuff. We went over to my mom's apartment. And my grandmother was like, okay, just wait right here. I'm going to go in the house and make sure she's ready. And I thought it was strange. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And so I'm sitting there, and it's about an hour goes by, and my grandmother's still in there talking to my mom. So the rent office opened. So I went into the rent office, and I started talking to Derek, and telling Derek about my summer or whatever. And, you know, he ended up getting a client that came in, and then I went to the computers. I sat down, and about 20 minutes later, 3 cops come in, and they came straight to me, and they was like, hey, you Darrel? And I was like, yeah. And they was like, all right, come on, get up, come with us. We're going to go have a conversation. And I was like, why y'all want me? I haven't done anything. Like, what's the deal? And Derek came over, and he was like, hey, what's going on? They was like, listen, we're going to go have a conversation with him and his mom. We're going to go sit down and talk. And so I'm getting my stuff, and they actually started grabbing me because I'm moving too slow. And I started like panicking a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm coming. Like, I'm getting my stuff. And as we're walking out of the rent office, my mom is like on the other side of the pool, and she's standing by the gate near our apartment building. And as I'm walking past my mom, she looks at me and she goes, good morning, Darrel. Like this very like condescending kind of voice and look on her face. And I was like, what is going on? Like, why are they here? Like, why are we doing this? I don't understand what's happening right now. And so we go into the apartment, and we sit down, and there's this guy in a suit in there. And he pulls out his book, and he starts going through pretty much whatever my mom had told him during the summer. He's like, hey, the reason that we're here, we're doing a mental health assessment. Your mom told us that you're being abusive toward her. You're being abusive towards your little brother. She said you're having sex with teachers. You're smoking weed. You're drinking. She has no control over you. She said, you know, you've been pretty much away this whole summer. And I started freaking out, and I'm not realizing that's the exact reaction she wanted. Right.
Right.
And I started telling her, I was like, are y'all serious right now? I was like, she is lying. I said, I've never smoked in my life. I've never drank in my life. I hadn't had sex at that point. Yeah. Right. I was like, she's lying. Like, maybe she feels like she's losing control over me. I don't know, but she's lying. Right. And I was much more amped than I'm, portraying right now. But of course, yeah. She looks at the doc, and she goes, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I have no control over him. And I get up, and I'm like, why are you lying? Like, why? And I was like kind of walking towards her and not realizing like this is exactly what she's trying to portray, right? Mm-hmm. And so the cops grabbed me, and it was like, okay, you know what? We're going to go ahead and Baker Act you. And in Florida, Baker Act is essentially they take you to a mental health facility, and they keep you there until the end of your treatment, however long the duration of that treatment is supposed to be. What? This is 2 weeks out from the start of my senior year of high school. Okay. So when I got there, first of all, I'm in the cop car. I'm claustrophobic. So I'm in the cop car, and I'm freaking out. I've never been arrested in my life. Like I've always a good kid in church playing ball. That's all I did. Right. So I've never been arrested in my life. And not this wasn't an arrest, but just being in the back of a cop car. Yeah. And so, we're headed to the clinic. I get there. They strip me down. They're taking pictures of me. They, pretty much treat me like it was freezing in there. Right. Yeah. And, I get to the back, and I pretty much saw something I should have never seen, right? Like you see folks in there that are actually crazy, kids in there that are actually, suicidal or harming themselves or want to harm others, right? Mm-hmm. And the first night I was there, all I did was cry. I didn't listen to anybody. I just cried. Like, I was just like, I can't believe I'm in this situation. Now, in this moment, none of my family members know that I'm here except for my grandmother and my mom. Right. Right. And anytime I tell this story, people often ask me, well, why didn't your grandmother help out? Well, at that time, my mom was helping my grandmother financially. And, she didn't really understand the complexities of the situation. She wasn't always around. Right. Yeah. And so it's funny because when I was going to the cop car, I actually was crying to my grandma, like, why are you letting them do this? Like, what's happening right now? Why are you letting them do this? And she was like, Darrel, just go. It's okay. Just go. And I'm looking at her like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, this is absolutely crazy. And so the next day I got to see the psychologist, and they told us, like, you're going to probably end up doing about a 2 to 3 month treatment. And I was like, 2 to 3 months? I was like, this is the start of my senior year of high school. Are y'all serious right now? Like, this is crazy. And I started telling them everything. They was like, that's fine. You'll get to sit down and have your session with your psychologist in 3 days. And so from the point that I got there, all I did was sleep, eat, and go to these group sessions that we had. And I was inside a room that had no door handles. I had a roommate that was, he never spoke. He just stared into the, you know what I'm saying, to the abyss. Like every time I looked at him, he just staring. And, you know, it was very traumatic for me.
Yeah.
And so the third day, I got a chance to speak to the psychologist. I told him everything. I said, this is what happened this summer. This is where I was. I said, all I do is play basketball. I go to church. I said, here's the number to my goddad. Here's the number to my coaches. Here's my aunt's number. And so luckily, this psychologist started calling those numbers, and he's saying, hey, you know, I'm just trying to get a better picture, a better understanding of what's going on with Darrel. And it's like, going on with Darrel? What are you talking about? Where are y'all at? What's going on, right? And they were able to tell him, like, you know, Darrel's a good kid. Like, why is he in there? Like, what's going on? His mother is crazy. She's been this way. Like, you know, because she had done a lot of things to my family members, right? And so thankfully, they went ahead and said, okay, we're going to release you because you shouldn't be here. And the psychologist was telling me, he was like, actually, it was a psychiatrist. He was telling me, you know, this happens very rarely, but we do get parents that do stuff like this to their kids, and we don't understand why. And so we apologize that you end up in this situation. And so they said, but the unfortunate thing is when we release you, we're going to have to release you back to your mom because she's your legal guardian. So she has to come pick you up. And so she had to come pick me up. And that was the hardest thing ever for me, because that morning, sure, we had our problems.
Yeah.
Sure, we had our issues. Sure, we went through our stuff. Sure, you know, we had a tumultuous relationship. Sure, she was abusive. But I realized that morning that I had no covering, right? Like when you walking through life and your dad's not in your life and your mom is also not protecting you, you feel like you're just abandoned. Like you have nobody to just cover you. And when she came and picked me up, I was just like, I was so angry. I was just completely angry.
Yeah.
And we went back to her place, and I like every day I would wake up at 5 a.m. Derek had an apartment there, so I would go to his apartment every day, and I wouldn't return home until like late that night. And luckily, I was able to go and start my senior year of high school, end up getting a basketball scholarship, went to New York to play ball, and then eventually I joined the military, and a lot of great things happened after that. But we can get into that, but yeah.
Bro. All right, I'm interrupting this podcast episode to let you guys know to leave a review on the podcast. Please, 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 if you are listening to this episode and you're finding value in this episode, you're enjoying the conversation, or you've enjoyed a previous episode or conversation, and it's safe to operate your phone right now, please leave us a review. Your review is a free and easy way to support us, and it helps us reach more people like you. We're on a mission to build a stronger, more connected Black community, starting with Black men. And you can help us on that mission by taking a minute out of your day to leave a review. Your review helps us generate more listeners, which in turn generates more revenue, allowing us to expand the platform even further. So please take a few seconds out of your day. I know you're busy. I understand. I know you're doing a lot, but it will help us greatly if you would just take a few seconds out of your day to leave a review right now. Did you leave a review yet? All right, let's get back to the episode.
I know that was a lot.
No, bruh. I'm like, bro, I think we got a tradition on this podcast. I haven't done it in a while, but we got to do it now. When somebody shares a lot of wisdom, we got to take a second, bro.
Yeah.
So I can't even like go into another question just because I need the audience to just take a second and process all the things that you said, bro.
Yeah.
Like we do research, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And I appreciate your vulnerability, bro. Just sharing that story, reliving that. I know that's not an easy thing to do, bro. Yeah. So I thank you for sharing that, bro. Because there's some people right now that may have the same situation. Yeah. Or may have something similar that they can learn from your situation, bro. And from the outside looking in, right? Like, again, like we'll see the platform, we see the vacations and all the good stuff, but we don't know that this is what happened when you was 16, bro. So I appreciate you sharing that, man.
Yeah.
Is your mom still alive?
My mom is still alive.
Where's your relationship with her now?
Man, we went 10 years without talking.
Okay.
So it's funny because whenever I left after high school, it was a strange feeling because I feel like I was being set free, but I also felt like I was breaking at the same time. And the reason that is because she was just the only thing I knew. You know what I'm saying? So even though I dealt with all that trauma, like I felt like, okay, I'm getting away from it, but I'm also like leaving the only thing that I know even how to manage my anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Like she would help me calm down in certain situations. She was the one we moved together. We went through a lot together, you know? And so when I left, that was tough. And I had to learn how to lean on God. That's when I found Christ. That's when I had to like take a deep dive into that relationship, to sustain me through that time period, right? Because, and I believe he allowed me to go through that because he needed me to know that, hey, I'm your foundation. Like I'm going to sustain you through the rest of your life.
Right.
Regardless of who started with you, I'm going to sustain you for the rest of your life. And so yeah, man, we went without talking for 10 years. And over the last couple of years, as I've grown and as I just turned 30.
Yeah.
And it's funny because now that I'm 30, I'm the age she was when she did whatever she did to me at that time. And so I look back and, I try to put myself in her shoes. A single parent, she had her stuff that she dealt with. I don't fully understand why she was the way that she was, but she had her stuff that she dealt with. And I think she had a lot of unresolved mental health issues. She never got therapy herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so she was just trying to figure out life on her own. She was just going about it the wrong way. And so over the last couple of years, I've tried to have more grace for her.
Yeah.
And then after COVID, I realized people are leaving this world left and right, young and old. And so I'm like, at least both of my parents are alive. And so actually the last couple of years, I've reached out to both of my parents. And so my dad and I, we talk pretty much once a month, twice a month now.
Okay.
And then my mom and I, we've tried to progress things, but she still has some of her ways, and that's a trigger point for me. And so I've had to still set some boundaries with that, man. Yeah.
Bro, you've done a lot of healing. I can tell, bro.
Yeah,
I can tell. I can tell when a man is done healing when he can give his parents grace. Bro, especially your situation, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people don't have it that, like, you had a really, like, deep, like, traumatic situation.
Yeah.
So for you to be able to give your mom grace, bro, that's commendable, bro, for real.
Man.
That is really commendable. And I know it was not easy, bro.
No, it's not easy, man. And I think what has helped it is, like I said, naturally my faith, right? Understanding that, none of us are perfect. And I think the other thing about it is I have a different perspective on life, which is some people go through their childhood and they look at their problems as like, okay, my life was unlucky or it was unfair or it was whatever the case may be. I look at it as God strategically allowed me to go through that so that I can be this person that I am today, so that I can help the people that I help today, so that I can be a tree that, gives fruit to everybody that needs it, right?
Yeah.
I used to think, like, why couldn't I just have two normal parents? Grow up in a good household, folks that nurtured me, that took care of me and made sure I was good. But I realized that wasn't for me.
Right.
I had to play the cards that I was dealt. And a lot of that is just a part of me understanding that. And this is after I joined the military. I realized that I have to do and control what I can control, and that's me and my perspective and how I respond to situations.
Yeah.
And so that has helped me have grace for her.
Yeah.
Because I can't change her, right? There's only three things that people blame their circumstances on or their hardships on. That's their circumstances, that's other people, and that's themselves. Two of those we can't change. We can't change our circumstances, right? We can't change the family we were born into. We can't change the state we was born in, the schools we went to. We had no control over that stuff. We definitely can't change other people. The only thing that we actually can change and control is ourselves. And so once I realized that, it was like, okay, I can take this another route. The hurt and pain is still there, but I can take this another route and try to build a relationship with the proper boundaries in place. And it's still a journey.
Yeah, for sure. Are you in therapy, or were you in therapy?
I was in therapy a couple years ago when my wife actually recommended it for me, and you know, it was good, and then life got pretty hectic. I was in it for a short period of time.
Okay.
So it's funny, a lot of like the things that I've learned over years has come from either research, has come from my faith.
Yeah.
And just, you know, I believe that God has just blessed me with just a certain level of wisdom and how to, you know, kind of go through life.
Honestly, bro. You talked about leaning on God when you were like going through that situation after you like kind of graduated and you were basically free, right?
Yeah.
What did that look like? Right? Like when you say lean on God, what were you doing in that moment? Because I feel like a lot of times when people go through stuff like that, they decide to stray away from the relationship with God. So what was that moment like? How did you lean on God?
Yeah. To be more specific, the way I leaned on God is quite literally through worship.
Okay.
And so, like the thing that brought me calmness and peace, we talk about like self-care, my self-care in those moments was listening to worship music. And I feel like in those moments, I would reflect on who God is to me and how he's a protector and how he said he'll never leave me. He'll never forsake me. How he said that even though I will be blessed, I am guaranteed to go through some trials and tribulations in this life. And even at 16 to 17, I understood that. So I didn't look at him like, why are you punishing me? I looked at him like, okay, you warned me. You told me like I was going through some trials and tribulations, but you also said that I'll be okay through it all. And so I would listen to worship music every single morning. Like my favorite song was Alpha and Omega by Israel Hilton. I don't know if you know that song, but I would listen to that.
I kind of know.
Yeah. Every morning I would listen to that and I would release, like I would just literally just be crying because I'm like, all right, I know that eventually things are going to get good. I just don't know when. And I'm like, Lord, I know that you got me. And that's how I would lean in on him. And then I would just pray. You know, I was a very anxious kid. Like I was very anxious. I had night terrors growing up.
Really?
I couldn't even stay the night to friends and cousins and family's house because I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would be at the door. And then I would wake up the next morning and they would be like, you don't realize what you was doing last night, screaming and yelling at me? I'm like, no, I don't remember any of that. And it was because of the trauma I was going through at home.
Okay.
So a lot of that stress was playing out in my subconscious while I was asleep, right? Because once I got away from it, the night terrors went away, right? Once I had some time away from it. And so I was a very anxious kid. And so whenever I would listen to worship, whenever I would pray, whenever I would listen to sermons, it grounded me and it made me realize, okay, like, I'm just going to lean on God. I'm just going to trust God in this situation. And I know that I'll be okay. And that's what quite literally carried me through because it was embarrassing to even talk about how she was towards me to friends or families or teammates. So I kept that stuff to myself. Only thing I could do was pray about it. Yeah.
Bro, I am so much more like appreciative of your journey, all the things that you do, bro. Just listening to you talk for real, bro. Because I'm like, damn, man, like, it's taken a lot for you to get to where you are today. And so I want to talk about your marriage, how you got to the point that you are at now with your marriage. Let's start with, first of all, how did y'all meet?
Yeah.
How did y'all
That's
meet?
a great question.
Yeah.
So we met on Instagram in 2013.
Okay.
Like Instagram was probably, I think it came out like 2011, 2012. Something.
Okay, y'all got to use it.
Great. Yeah, when there was no algorithm.
Right.
And it's funny because, so she was at that time, Tyrese, the singer Tyrese, I was following him.
Yeah.
And, he was posting a lot of videos of him in Dubai. Okay. And I had never heard. With the hijabs and everything. He was over there all the time, man. I was like, man, this place looks really cool. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought anything of it, right?
Yeah.
And, like, we ended up following each other. We still don't know how, because Samantha's from Canada. She's from Nova Scotia, Canada.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how the hell?
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Like, exactly. Right.
Okay.
She's from Canada. I'm like, I didn't know the black people was in Nova Scotia, Canada. I said, what you mean? I said, what's Nova Scotia?
Right.
It sound like Narnia.
Sound like Russia or something.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
And so anyway, man, like she had posted a picture. First of all, like she's just gorgeous. And so I was going through her profile and I would like pictures.
Scrolling.
Yeah, man. And so one day she posted a picture that she got accepted to do, to study abroad at the Canadian University of Dubai.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
At this time, I'm 18. I'm 18 years old. I'm living in New York. I had just got cut from the basketball team up there because I got injured and I didn't tell the coach or whatever. Anyway, so I had a lot of time on my hands. And so I commented on her picture. I was like, I've always wanted to go to Dubai. And so people always ask us, like, who DM'd who first?
I was going to ask you.
Yeah. So I commented first.
Okay.
But she slid in my DMs.
Oh, okay.
She would tell you different. That's why I'm glad I got the seat over here.
Yeah.
And she don't got the mic.
It's your turn, brother. It's your turn, brother.
It's my turn. She got to find her own podcast to go on. And so, yeah, man. So she was like, she slid in my DMs. I wish I still had it. I think when we were kids, we got in a big fight or something like that. We both deleted everything. Oh, man. You know how it is. Yeah. We were young, right? And so anyway, she was like, well, you should come visit. You know, and from there we would like just kind of talk back and forth in the DMs. We did that for about a year. And then in 2014, she and her friend decided that they were going to go to a Beyonce concert in Georgia. But I was going home for the summer in Fort Lauderdale. And so she was like,
too far?
That ain't too far. She was like, hey, like my friend and I are coming to Miami. Yeah, you know, Fort Lauderdale's right next to Miami.
Right.
And she was like, you know, are you going to be home for the summer? I was like, yeah. And so, dude, I hit up my godmother, which is a whole nother story. My godmother is an angel sent from heaven.
I love it.
But I hit my godmom and I was like, hey, there's this girl I really like. I want to impress her. Like, and my godmom worked for Wyndham, which is like this huge hotel. Resorts and everything.
Okay.
And so I was like, can we get her a discounted room? I'm trying to impress her. Now, at that time, dude, I'm broke as a joke. My credit jacked up. I ain't have really a place. I was staying with my godmom at the time. I had nowhere to stay, whatever. And I was like, I really want to impress her. And she was like, really? Absolutely. Yeah, let's get her down here. And so they got the room, whatever. And I met her on July 11th, 2014. And I met her in the garage of the Wyndham parking lot. And I went over to her car. And the first thing she says to me is, I can't close because she had a what do you call those cars? Convertible.
Convertible.
So she had a convertible.
Okay.
And so she's like, I can't close the top. Can you close the top for me?
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I can't get a high. Like, I can't get a hey. How you doing?
Yeah.
Like, we've been talking all this. She's like, can you close the convertible? I was like, yeah, I can get in and close the convertible. I'm trying to impress her. I get in and, you know, I pull the convertible down and close it. I was like, I got you covered. Close the door. And she just started walking with her friend on into the hotel. And so I walked behind her. I'm like, I can't get a hug. Like, what's up? Right. And yeah, I'm like, oh Lord, what's happening right now? And, man, we hung out that weekend and, we went down to South Beach and she ended up getting like a heat stroke, whatever you want to call it.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so I drove down there because she was down there with her friend. I drove down there and picked her up, made sure she was taken care of, made sure she was okay or whatever. And then, the next day she was leaving out. She looked at me. She goes, all right, well, have a nice life.
I kid you. Nah, dog.
I kid you not.
Nah, bro.
She was like, have a nice life. I'll see you. And I was like, bro, I done got this girl down here. Got the discounted hotel, got all this stuff.
Brought all the stuff.
We done did all this, right? And so the night before she left, we did bond. And, she within an hour of her saying, have a nice life, once she got to the airport, she texted me. She was like, I really miss you. And, like, I really like you, right? Like, and she was just shy. We were young. She didn't know how to say it, whatever. And from that moment, from that visit, we spoke literally every day over the last 11 years. We have not gone a day. The only time we have not talked or spent time with each other was when I was in boot camp. Yeah, and going through training.
Bro, I love love, man.
Yeah.
I love love, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for love, bro.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I heard from that story? Out of everything that you said, bro, what I really heard was God had to sit Samantha down for a little bit.
Dude.
With that heat stroke.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That gave y'all the opportunity to bond.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Who knows?
Absolutely.
Who knows what happened?
Dude, from that moment, because she always tells, so her dad is like her best friend. Like she'll tell him like her dad is her best friend, and her dad like really made sure, she's a daddy's girl. Her dad really made sure that she was protected, taken care of, like, her entire life. Right. And she tells me all the time, like looking back, like that day, she felt like I protected her, like her dad would protect her, make sure that she was okay, make sure she got what she needed. You know what I mean? And from there, man, we just locked in.
Yeah, been locked in.
We've been locked in.
I love it, bro. You talked about being broke at that time.
Oh my God. Oh, I was. What's funny is, and so I told you she's from Nova Scotia, Canada. Yeah. And what's funny is around that time, even though I was going through all the stuff I was going through, at that time I was posting on Instagram. I would post at that time you could post 15-second videos. Yeah. So I would get on there and I would drop a scripture. Okay. Or I would drop, I would post a video about like, hey, even though you're going through something right now, there's a direct connection between what you're going through and where you're going in life, and God's got you. Like, it's funny, I was going through so much, but I was still ministering to everybody else on Instagram. And so her mom went through all those videos, and her mom fell in love with me, right? And yeah, I think that October, her parents actually flew me out to Nova Scotia. I ain't had no money.
You got flew out by the parents?
Flown out by the parents.
Oh my God.
They flew me out. What's crazy is I ain't had no passport. And I ain't had no passport. I ain't had nothing. Right. They bought the passport. They bought the flights. And if you know anything about Canadians are the nicest people on the planet. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. And when I got there, they treated me like a king. Okay. And they, what's funny is like, I fell more in love with her because of her family. Right. Like her parents were in such alignment and lockstep with one another. And I had never seen Black love portrayed in that way. I was like, man, this is
especially
beautiful.
With your upbringing.
Especially with my upbringing. Yeah, like this is exactly what I want to model my relationship after. Like this is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I had a big, beautiful home, had a place on the lake. Her dad served 30 years in the military. She had a little sister. They were, doing great things, right? And they didn't care that I was broke, busted, and disgusted. They were just like, we see potential in you, and she saw potential in me, right? And so yeah, man, bro, we locked it in,
bro. You got flew out by the parents.
Flown out by the parents, bro. It don't stop there either.
Yo.
Yeah, I got flown out by the parents.
So how, I can just, how old were you at that time?
At that time, let me see, this is 2014. At that time, I was 19 years old.
19 years old. You getting flown out. Y'all were y'all together? Or
Man, we were boyfriend and girlfriend, I guess. We were dating, yeah.
Okay.
We were dating.
I was just going to tell you, bro, normally you only need like one parent. No,
right, exactly.
As long as you got one
on your
side, they
side,
can work on it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Over time.
Both of them, bro.
Man, I had both of them. Dude, I had brother. Oh, man.
Brother.
Yeah.
Post those scriptures, bro.
He said, post those scriptures. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man.
That's fire, bro.
It was amazing. And, they, eventually they made me feel so comfortable enough to open up to them about some of my struggles and some of the things I was going through at that time, and there was no judgment. There was none of that. They were they were quite literally on some, how can I help you? Yeah. Because it's funny, like I was dating a girl in high school and, we were locked in. Like it was going really well. Like I thought I was going to be with this girl. We went to the same church. Yeah. We went to separate schools, but it was only a couple blocks away from each other. We saw each other often. Like everything was we go to Bible study together. We do all this stuff together. And then, I remember like my senior year, her parents sat her down and told her like, Darrel's a good kid. Like we love him, but like he has a single parent at home. Like he, you know, we don't know what direction in life he going in. Like, and so she told me, she's like, my dad and my mom doesn't want me to be with you because they think like you being raised by your mom is not like good for me, you know? And I was like, I was so thrown, like, what? Like, what they got to do with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and so for her family to see me for who I am and to appreciate, you know, the potential that was there. It was everything for me. You know what I mean?
Bro.
You know what I mean? And not just her parents, she did as well. You know what I'm saying? Like we were obviously just like infatuated with each other. But the reason I'm harping on her parents is because like I never got that validation as a kid from parental figures at all.
Right.
So to get it from her parents was amazing.
Big, bro.
Yeah. Man,
I love, bro. I love it, bro.
Yeah.
I love it, bro. I really do. Like I said, bro, I love, bro. You got me in here just like really, really happy for y'all and what y'all got going on, man. I'm really inspired by your story, bro. I want to ask you, what do you feel like, because obviously you talked about being broke and like not really having it together and all that kind of stuff. What financial habit do you feel like really changed your life the most? What did you have to start doing to get to the point that you are at now?
Yeah. So I kind of gotta give a backstory to that. So when I joined the military, that was the first time I had ever made any of my own money. Right. So I didn't know anything about financial management. I didn't know anything about how to invest, how to save. I didn't know anything about high yield savings. I didn't know anything about, you know, emergency savings, anything about any of that stuff. I just knew that the way I grew up is we just need enough money to pay the bills. If we have enough money to pay the bills, we can survive. And my thought process, once I started making money, is like, we need to save as much as possible or else we're going to be out on the streets. We're going to end up in a hotel. We're going to end up in a motel. Like I was very, very, very conscious about our spending. And that's because I never in my life wanted to go through again what I had to go through as a kid. Being in the mindset of like, we'll probably end up on the street one day. Cause I was still thinking that, even though like I was getting paid really well, you know, I was thinking to myself, I have to like save and hold on to this money or we're going to lose it. Something's going to happen. Like we're going to lose, they're going to come and take our apartment, take the cars. Like I just, you know, and that forced me to study and that forced me to learn about money. And the first book I read was, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by, Samet Reed. I forget his name at the moment, but it was like, I will teach you to be rich. And I knew it wasn't about teaching me how to be rich. He was teaching you how to live your rich life, which is how to manage your finances so that you can live the life that you want to live. And in that book, I learned the principles of investing. I learned how to save. I learned how to structure my money. I learned a zero balance sum. I learned all those things and I started to put them into practice. And that was around like 21 or 22 years old, just as we were getting married. And it pretty much, you know, gave me the structure on how we were going to structure our finances during that time.
So y'all got married at 21?
22.
22.
Yeah. We got married. We was kids, bro. We was kids.
Talk to me about that. How did that happen?
Dude, we were kids. You know what's funny is like I said, when we were 19, and, you know, we were so in love and she supported everything that I wanted to do. Like she was all for it. Like when I was living in Maryland, so I moved from New York to Florida, and in Florida is where I met her in person. And then I left Florida and actually lived with my goddad. You remember I was supposed to live with my goddad when I was 16. He hit me up. He was like, listen, you come work for me, work for the company and go to school at the same time. And so I moved up to Maryland with my goddad. And, around that time, I was in school, I was working at Calvin Klein, and I was also working for his company. I wasn't making any money with his company. I was basically volunteering. And at Calvin Klein, I was working maybe 3 days out the week, and everything I was getting paid was going towards the rent that I was, you know, paying him. So I wasn't really making any money. And when I was working at Calvin Klein, I ended up, or when I was in school there, I ended up not being able to apply to the next semester because I had identity theft. And I had identity theft, and they couldn't give me a student loan in order for me to pay them to go to school because they can't verify who I was. And I came to find out that my mom had used my identity to open up cars and cable in my name.
You know, brother, I was gonna ask you, did you ever figure out how that? I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, she opened up cars and cable in my name, and so I couldn't go to school. So here I am. I'm in Maryland for the purpose of going to school and working and trying to figure out my life, right? And so now I can't go to school. I'm taking a bus 2 hours to work, and I'm also working for my goddad. I'm just like, I need to figure something out. Like, what is my life about to look like?
Right.
And so, you know, the way that I, you know, blew off steam around that time, every day I'll go to LA Fitness, play basketball.
Yeah.
And one day I was at LA Fitness, I ran into this dude named Till. I'll never forget, man. Till pulled me to the side one day. He was like, man, you always come in here. You always so happy. You always, you know, what's going on with you today, man? You know? And so I just opened up and I told him, I broke down crying. I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen with my life. I don't know what's, you know, everything just seems to be going wrong. He's like, you ever thought about joining the military? And I was like, no. The military. I ain't joining the military. I ain't about to go to war and go fight. I'm about to lose my life. You talking about the military. And he was like, no, listen. He was like, listen. I have my, you know, my VA disability. I have my degrees. I own my home. He was like, he took me outside. He said, you see that car right there? He pointed to his Cadillac. He had an Escalade. He was like, I own that car right there. He's like, the life that I have is because of my time in the service. And I was like, man, I'm good, man. I ain't go. Because all I knew about the military is what I saw on TV.
Right.
What I saw on the movies. I was like, I ain't about to go get deployed to Afghanistan. Y'all ain't about to shoot, kill me. I love my life.
Right.
You know, so I go home that night and around the time, remember, me and Samantha getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And I told Samantha about it. And then I also told her dad about it. And then her dad,
in the military. Yeah.
Exactly. Her dad served 30 years.
Okay. But he served in Canada.
In the Canadian Army.
Okay.
He served in the Canadian Army.
Okay.
But the benefits are very similar. Very similar.
Okay.
And so he was telling me about his time and you know, he's telling me how, you know, he just there's nothing that he regrets about it. Like he out of 12 brothers and sisters, he's the only one that went. And it shows like what it paid off as. Like I told you, the house, the car. I mean, he was driving at the time. He had a Hummer and a Cadillac at that time over at the house. They had a house on the water, all this stuff, right? Like, had a boat. You know what I'm saying? Like black people with a boat, what's going on? Like, whoa. And so I got Till telling me about the military. I got him telling me. And so I said, you know, I'm gonna do some research. And so I start doing research on the Air Force specifically. And I started realizing, I was like, oh, I can work multiple jobs. I don't have to carry around a gun and try to go kill somebody or try. And so I realized, like, oh, I can be a medic. And so my aunt was a medic and I'm like, okay, maybe I can do that. And so I went to the recruiter's office, man. And, I decided that I was going to join and I had a couple barriers. One, I had stuff in collections, cable, all sorts of stuff that my mom and, two, I had some the stuff in collections, and then there's some hospital bills and whatever because I got hit by a van when I was 12, almost lost my life. That's a whole nother story.
Man, okay.
So all that stuff, right? And so her parents said, "Don't worry about that. We'll take care of it." Like, so they got that stuff out of collections, cleared up my tickets. I had some tickets, whatever, and then I joined the Air Force, and it was the best decision one of the best decisions I've ever made for sure.
Brother. You're selling Samantha's family right now, bro. You're gonna have some brothers DMing you like, yo, I heard about that little sister, man. What's the word? I'm telling you, bro, you better relax now. You better relax. You're selling them now.
Dude.
You're selling them. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. And that was just a game changer for me, dude. Like, how everything just transpires. It's funny because I always say, like, man, God is so strategic and how all because had I not moved to Maryland and met Till, had I not met her, you know, I would have ever thought about, you know, joining the Air Force. I probably would have ended right back up in Florida, and I don't know what I would be doing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can always tell when somebody has God's favor. In their life, bro. I feel like you're someone that has God's favor, bro. For sure, based on your story. For sure. I know you've gone through a lot. But you also have a lot to be grateful for.
Man, absolutely, bro. Appreciate that, man.
Bro.
Appreciate it.
That's dope, man. I want to ask you about the end of year reviews.
Let's do it.
Because I'm trying to figure out how I do
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So now that I have the source.
You know?
So,
We supposed to be talking about finances and planning.
this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. This is exactly the conversation we're supposed to be having, bro.
Yeah.
Like the finances are a part of it, bro. I want to know your story. I want to know how y'all got to this point. So this is exactly what we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
But as far as the end of the year reviews, bro.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever have a point where there was like friction around that process? And if so, how did you handle that? Like,
Okay.
because I'm trying to figure out how do I do it in my relationship in a way where it's frictionless. You know, it doesn't feel like a chore. Because sometimes my girl, love her to death. She's great.
Yeah.
But
She might watch this. You better be careful.
no, yeah, I know. Hey, listen, thank you for that, brother. Let me think about how I want to say this. Listen, love Naima to death, man.
Yeah.
But I've told her this before. Like, she doesn't like to. Once something becomes too structured, I'm gonna lose her.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you got me sitting here. We
Yeah.
whiteboard
Yeah.
right now. Like, I feel like I'm in school. You know, I don't got time for that. I
Yeah.
want to be free flowing. I ain't got time to be writing stuff down. So was there ever a point in time where there was friction for y'all with that process, and how did you handle that is my question. And if not, that's okay.
No, for sure. That's good. That's a good question, man. So we didn't have friction in that way because I think that, you know, with Samantha's background in corporate and then my time in the military, like I had adopted the style of structure from the military because that's the first time I experienced structure in my life. And I was like, this works, so I'm going to adopt it. What I will say is that when we started to sit down and actually have our meetings, like we didn't know what the heck we were doing. We just like, okay, the very first year we did it, we just sat in the room for like 4 hours. Like, okay, what do we talk about? Like, how do we get this? Why are we here? And what do we want to get out of this? You know, and that was hard to figure out the in between that, right?
Yeah.
And we just literally just started writing down all of our goals. Okay, what do we want to accomplish this year? How much money do we want to save this year? Where do we want to travel to? What do we want to do as far as education? Because at that time, my goal was to become a doctor. Like I was dead set on going to school, become a physician. And she was trying to climb the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
And Samantha has traveled her entire life. So there will not be a year where we're not going to travel somewhere. So we had to save the travel, and then we had to save for it, right? And so we were just trying to figure out like how to do all of those things at one time.
Yeah.
It was tough, like going through it. But after that first sit down that we had, we realized like we got a better idea of how we were going to attack life that year.
Yeah.
The next year, I'll say it got better because we learned how to categorize our goals.
Yeah.
And so we sat down, we said, well, what's important to us? Well, travel is important to us. Okay, boom. Let's put travel up there, and then we'll write down our goals under travel. Okay, what's the next thing that's important to us? Our finances. Boom, we're going to put our finances up there, and we're going to talk about our debt. We're going to talk about our savings. We're going to talk about, you know, how much money we want to have for retire. What are we trying to get at with that?
Right.
And then we want to talk about our professional goals. We're going to talk about our personal goals. Like, what are our fitness goals? What are our spiritual goals? Like, and we're going to do it. When we did it that way, it unlocked a super. We started having conversations about stuff like when it came to the finances that actually allowed for a breakthrough because she was thinking like, okay, but I want to spend the money so that we can travel. What's the point of just saving? And I'm thinking like, no, we need to save so that we can buy a home or so we can, you know, if a rainy day come or whatever. So it opened up dialogue and it got us somewhere. We started getting more aligned. Yeah. And then we would move to the next line. I was like, okay, we on the same page here. Let's talk about this. And then we would move over to the next thing. And then by the end of the meeting, we felt like we had a plan. Like now we're squared away to attack this year. We were not only motivated, it's like, okay, we know what benchmarks we want to hit throughout the year.
Yeah.
And then the next year we was like, okay, we didn't accomplish everything. How can we figure out how to accomplish everything?
Yeah.
And we was like, we need to meet during the year about this stuff. Let's take it off the whiteboard. Let's put it in some type of spreadsheet, and we need to meet and see where we are throughout the year.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that, and it was like, okay, you just finished this class, well, we on to the next one. We just paid off this credit card, we're on to the next one.
Yeah.
We just did what you got going on. And so we started having life meeting, we call them.
Yeah.
And that, like, honestly, bro, I kid you not, I don't think without that, we would have been able to accomplish half the things we've accomplished.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, I'm sure you know, but I mean, we have 6 college degrees between the both of us. And that's from the time we met until this point. We're 30.
Very educated.
Yeah. He said very educated.
Very educated.
Yeah, man. You know, we've traveled a lot. We've traveled the world, right? We built 2 homes. You know, we've been able to make quite a bit of money with our businesses, and then naturally me as an influencer and working with brands like, you know, Meta and Verizon, and like all of that stuff came from the intention of planning and sitting down and having those end of year meetings. I kid you not. 1,000%, bro.
So you talk about the end of year meetings, you talk about the life meetings.
Yeah.
So how did y'all structure the life meetings in a way where it made sense for y'all? Because I feel like y'all are both very busy folks, really.
Yeah.
Right? And so it could be hard to find time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the answer is you just find time for what you need.
Right. Yeah.
Outside of that, right? Like, what were some things that you felt like worked for you guys in terms of structuring the life meetings? Because, like, what if something happens when you have one set up for, like, a certain week and then maybe I got to travel to do something or whatever? Like, how did you structure it around, you know, in a practical way that made sense for both of you?
Yeah. So I'm be honest with you, it wasn't perfect. Like sometimes, even this year, sometimes we've gone a whole month without even meeting.
Okay.
So like people often wonder, because I get probably 100 messages every week about these same questions.
Yeah.
And so I want people to understand, like, it's not perfect. It just works when you do them. And so now we try to make sure we meet every week. But there are times, like, for example, the month of June, we were in, at the start of the month, we were in Canada, and then we were in Philly, and then we were in Connecticut. Last week we were in New York. And then this is the first weekend we've been home. Right. You know, and then in May, we were in, you know, Mexico, and we were in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, right? Well, we've been all over the place. Yeah. And so sometimes it's just not practical to get them in. Yeah. But I will say, when we weren't as busy, right, we would have it every Tuesday, right? Because that's what worked at that time. Okay. And we would sit down for at least like 30 minutes. Okay. And it wasn't always about going through the spreadsheet and seeing where we are with our goals. Sometimes it was just talking about the next week ahead. Like, what do we have going on? What do you need from me? Like, how can we support each other going into this week? We talked about, you know, her spending, right? Or she talked about, she got on me about, like, getting stuff done around the house, right? That was our opportunity to get after some of the issues,
get some grievances out the way.
Exactly. And so, which helped to kind of force us to not push things under the rug and wait till it festers up and it becomes a blowout later on. Yeah. Because sometimes I didn't know what she was talking about. I'm like, bruh, like, I handled that already. She's like, no, you didn't. Like, what are we talking about? And so when we have those conversations, even sometimes during the life meetings. And so sometimes it was a come to Jesus moment. And sometimes we sitting there talking about our finances and our travel, right? And so it has to work for you. There's no fixed way to do this. I just think it's important to do it because it aligns y'all and it puts you on the same page. Yeah. And so when again, so many people have adopted it, and I love getting messages from folks. They're like, me and my husband, one lady reached out a couple weeks ago, actually, and she was like, last year we saved $15,000. She said both my husband and I got promotions in our job, and it's because we sat there and we planned out exactly how, she used these words. She said we sat there and we played chess on how we were going to get to the next level in life. Because we started planning out our lives because of y'all. I was like, that's exactly what I'm trying to get across.
Brother.
Yeah.
Y'all need like, y'all probably talked about this already, but anytime I hear stuff like this, I think about, I don't know, my mind just starts thinking about ideas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm like that too. Yeah. I'm like that too.
I really think if y'all did, and if y'all had this already, that's great. We should talk about it at the end, like y'all can promote it. Yeah. Some type of coaching, membership.
Yeah. That's so fun.
Something. Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Especially if you get 100 messages on it, bro.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That means people are like, yo, like, we'll sign up for something.
Right.
Just to get access to you, to ask these questions.
For sure.
And then to also help with the implementation. Yeah. And then what y'all could also do to take it even further, because y'all in the area, y'all could then create like a whole event series around it. Yeah. And then bring couples out that are part of your membership or maybe part of your community, you know, social media, whatever the case may be. Yeah. And then have folks come out and then y'all get that sponsored. Y'all probably bring other couples out, you know, like Kevin and Melissa's and Tab and Chance and folks, right? You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah. It's fun. So it's funny you say that.
I don't want nothing but just a ticket, man. That's all I want. Just
we gonna get you. We gonna get you on there. We gonna make sure you're a part of that. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny you say that, man. We started Like, cause when it first popped off, we had so many people asking for just a spreadsheet. They were like, you want that spreadsheet? Where can we get it?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, like, how do we get this spreadsheet to people?
Right.
So I just started telling people how to make one. I was like, just go on Google Sheets. This is what you do. Just go ahead and categorize your stuff. Like, and I would be in the inbox just messaging people back, just trying to get to everybody.
Yeah.
And that was just not reasonable.
It's
like,
not scalable.
It was not scalable. It was not sustainable. And so I was like, okay, we need to just like erase everything, like make a copy of ours, erase everything off of it and start getting it out to people.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything about stand stores. We didn't know anything about creating a website. We know nothing about none of that stuff at that time. And so literally we sat down one night. We was just like, all right, we getting all these questions from people. We need to just go ahead and just build a website.
Yeah.
Kid you not. We Googled how to build a website. We sat there from 11 a.m. to about 5 a.m. in the morning. We built a website.
Word.
We put the spreadsheet on the website.
Word.
That next day we put it up. And I struggled with the pricing. I'm like, I don't want to charge anybody for this. But I talked to one of my boys. He was like, you have to. You be crazy. He's like, this is the purpose. That is a business. You have to do that. And I was like, okay. We'll put $15 on it, right? That next day we woke up, we had like $37,000 sitting in that. I was like, we looking at each other like, what?
$37,000
in a night,
brother.
I was so lost.
That's fire.
I was like, what just happened?
Imagine you put that up for free, bro.
Dude, exactly. I would have been. I hope it broken. I hope it broken.
You were bugging.
I was like,
yo,
dude. I was like, what is happening, bro? We almost went for free with this.
Yeah, nah, hell no.
I was like, whoa, man. And and that's what opened up our eyes to. And what's funny, we had already had a business with Bailey Digital Marketing. We were doing marketing stuff for some folks. But that opened up our eyes to owning like something that we created, like literally, like marketing has been around for ages, right? Like you can hire anybody for that. We literally created this thing, this idea behind couples getting together to plan. Yeah. I mean, we were getting calls from like, Fox News, CNN, we like the Daily Mail, like we were on, TV several times for this, right? And everybody wanted to know about this. And what's funny is when I first posted the video, I'm thinking like nobody's gonna be interested in this. It's so boring.
Bro, it's so, bro.
Isn't that so common?
Bro, the things that you think are so easy, right? Everybody should know.
Absolutely.
It's because it comes natural to y'all. I'm telling you right now, I know we need to do it for months and we haven't done it.
You like, we dude, it's funny, like anytime I'm out, like it's always the guys, they'll be like, bro, man, I'm gonna kill you. You got my wife sending me these videos about planning. It's like, man, it's either that or, bro, I appreciate you. We rocking and rolling now, but it man, it works. Yeah, it works. Like,
I love it, bro.
I'm like, there's no way we're here without it. So,
bro,
yeah, man,
bro, I love it. I'm inspired. I'm about to see my girl after this, and I'm gonna tell her, listen, I talked to Darrel today. We gotta set up these life meetings. Yeah. We gotta send them this end of the year review. I don't care what we gotta do or move to make it happen. Dude. Cause bro, we doing well. Like we not struggling by any stretch of like for sure. And we haven't done it. Yeah. So I can only imagine once we actually start doing it and like actually start getting in line with everything, bro. Yeah. Things that really take off, bro. So I'm
y'all will take it to another level, bro, for sure.
I'm very appreciative of y'all sharing that because I think it's important for us to share the things. Like you talked about it. I think you talked about it earlier. People sitting on their sitting on their gifts.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
We talked about that before we even got on pod. Like you talked about people sitting on their gifts and their talents. And this is something that y'all are gifted in this. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? And it may not have seemed that way, but hopefully y'all know for sure now from the social proof, bro. Hopefully y'all know, man. So
and I'll say this real quick before you ask your next question.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is the first time we saying this public right on your pod. So but we're actually getting ready to launch a community called the Blueprint Circle.
Oh, okay.
The Blueprint Circle. And the point behind that is really for folks who either did not have the blueprint growing up like me. They kind of started off behind the curve. They didn't, necessarily have the foundational things like how to manage finances, how to manage their, basically their life, right? Education, how to start a business. All that stuff, right? Or folks who just feel lost right now and they need a blueprint, they need some guidance. Yeah. And so in that, we're going to teach planning. In that, we're going to teach the basics of finances. And in that, we're going to talk about even how to scale your social media, how to get branded, how to do all that stuff. So that's getting ready to launch in August, man.
In August?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm excited for y'all, bro. Yeah. I'm very excited for y'all, man. Yeah. Are y'all bringing people in to like do coaching or talks?
Absolutely.
Like that?
Absolutely. Okay. So the idea is that, similar to you, we kind of talked about how when you first started doing your pod, it was just you and you were speaking. I'm sure you got a wealth of knowledge, but anytime you add people to the fold, it just takes it to a whole nother level. So we're going to have, I've been blessed to living here in the DC area. I've built some really good relationships with some folks out here, man, that are in different spheres, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's sports, whether it's healthcare. And we're going to bring people in, real estate, all that. We're going to bring folks in, and it's going to be, my goal is to make it just impactful. Like you leave with something. Yeah. And so,
Yeah. Are y'all doing it like it's going to be virtual first and then y'all doing some stuff in person too? Or?
Absolutely. Yeah. The whole, so I think we're going to build it on, probably, like a platform like Mighty Networks or School, right? So folks can come in and they can get what they need, but we're going to do at least once a month, something in person, where folks can come in and have like, a networking event, a planning hour, whatever people want is what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Have y'all looked at Circle?
I think Circle popped up on my in my ads on Instagram or Facebook one. But
they know you're looking into it now.
Look, exactly.
Yeah, let's start these targeted, retargeted ads. But nah, look at Circle for sure, bro. Okay. I use Circle on our back end.
Okay. Yeah.
For our community, I like it a lot. For sure. I think it gives you a lot of flexibility. I haven't used School. I've used Mighty Networks. Not a fan of Mighty Networks.
Really?
Whatever works for y'all. Yeah. But I'm not a fan of Mighty.
All right, we gonna talk more about that.
Yeah, we could talk offline.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Got a crazy story of Mighty Network. That's sure. Okay. But we could definitely talk about.
Good to know.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna keep it real,
Yeah, absolutely.
Black man, black couple.
Absolutely.
So I gotta keep it a stack with you.
No doubt.
So definitely look in the Circle if if that's something that y'all plan on doing. I think School I haven't really seen too much. I know that's
Alex Hormozy.
Yeah, Hormozy. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Excited for y'all, bro. If there's anything I could do, bro, like if you want me to pop in, do a workshop, whatever, y'all got something going on in person, you already know I'm out here.
Oh, we gonna tap in.
So, bro,
we locked in now. You in the area now for sure. Yeah,
for sure. Hit me, bro. We could definitely talk about it, bro. So I wanna ask you these. I wanna do a segment real quick, bro. We have a new segment on the podcast where we talk about deep questions. We have deep conversation about some of the things that you may have gone through. And the reason why we have this segment is because, again, like I told you earlier, I'm originally from New York.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, like his friend, passed away by suicide a few months ago.
Yeah.
And so he challenged me to have more conversations about depression, suicide ideations, just the things that, we sometimes shy away from having conversations about. So it's great to talk about relationships and the financial plan and all these different aspects.
Yeah.
Right. But I love the fact that earlier we talked about your relationship with your mom, your relationship with your pops, and like some of the trauma that you experienced. And so are you comfortable with getting just a little bit deeper, a little bit more vulnerable?
I don't hit it here with my mom, so we can go even deeper now. Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. So the first question I want to ask you, bro, is have you ever been through depression? If you have, what was that like?
Yeah, man. I always say to myself, I ask myself that question is like, have I been through depression? And the reason I ask myself that question is because I was like I said, I always had severe anxiety, to the point where I would have somatic symptoms. Like I felt like I was having a stroke, or I felt, heart palpitations, lightheadedness, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But as far as depression, man, I'm pretty sure that I've experienced waves of depression several times during my life. I just didn't know that it was depression. And I think like looking back, before I got married, I'm pretty sure I was depressed all throughout high school, especially after that situation had happened.
Yeah.
And the way that I combated that was naturally faith, right? But also, I think even what's more profound in this is that I did not wait for something to happen. I went and made a change for myself, if that makes any sense. Right. Like I went and tried to build the life that I wanted to build. I went and tried to make something happen. Because here's what happens. And I learned this, I learned this in my master's. There's a psychologist by the name of Erik Erikson, and he came up with this, the stages of psychosocial development.
Okay.
And during each stage, you're solving a conflict.
Okay.
So from the ages about 0 to 1, you're solving the conflict of trust versus mistrust, which means, can I trust my caregiver or not? And if you can solve that conflict properly, then you learn to trust people around you. And then you move on to like the stage of initiative versus guilt. Like, can I do things and not feel guilty about doing? Can I do things on my own, right? Or do I feel guilty about trying things, right? So when kids are trying to like tie their shoe, or when kids are trying to learn like the world around them, can they do, so they build up the courage to do that, right? Or in high school, you learn identity versus role confusion, I believe is what it's called. And you're trying to learn who you are, right? Like who am I in this world? And so that's between the ages of 0 to about 20. And then once you turn 20 to 40, you're in this stage called intimacy versus isolation. Okay. Where you're learning to build relationships with people, whether you can successfully build, whether it's a romantic relationship, friendships, work relationships, whatever, you're trying to find your community. And then from 40 to 65, it's generativity versus stagnation. Am I contributing to the world in some way? Am I living, am I generating purpose, right? Or am I stagnant? And then from 65 to death, it's integrity versus despair, which is, did I live a life of integrity? Like, did I give everything I have, or am I regretful of everything that I did and I didn't go after what I wanted? Now, here's the thing that I realized about this. From 0 to 20, a lot of that stuff is not in your control. You can't control, the parents that you have that allows you to trust them or not. Yeah. You can't control the, really the identity versus role confusion, because you may have, had some traumatic events in school. You may have gone through some things. You may have been molested. You may have dealt with some stuff. But once you turn 20 and up, everything is now your responsibility. Yeah. You have to take charge of your life. You have to, if you are struggling with relationships, you have to go seek therapy. If you are struggling with your health, you have to go get health. You have to go get in the gym. You have to go do those things. And so now it becomes an internal locus of control rather than an external locus of control. Yeah. An external locus of control, which is basically everything that happens to me is a result of my circumstances and everybody around me, right, and what happened to me. Internal locus of control is, it is my responsibility to create the life that I want to live and to be happy, right? And to do the things that I want to do. And so I think I understood that at an early age. It's like, as I'm solving those conflicts, I have to do the work to become the person that I want to become. Right. And so I think the way that I combated against that anxiety and depression that I dealt with all throughout high school is that I gave myself permission to join the military, to be in a relationship, to eventually get therapy, to learn different skills, to go after what I needed to get after. And so I think that's how I combated the depression that I did deal with early on in life.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that comprehensive answer, bro. Yeah. You were all like, you really studied that Erik Erikson.
Oh, yeah.
Because for you to recite it like that, and know all the different pieces of it, bro, yeah. Shout out to you, bro, for sure. Because I was like, I don't know if he's going through all of it. Like, yeah.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because that's going to unlock some things for some people, bro. Yeah. That's really going to unlock some things for some people. I want to ask you, too, about heartbreak. You talked about a previous relationship. Yeah. You also talked about how Samantha was kind of, wilding out. Have you ever experienced heartbreak? Yeah. And if so, what was that like? What was it? What happened? And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be family. It could be anything, right? So have you ever experienced heartbreak?
Naturally, with my mom, that whole situation, yes. But romantically, I think, the first time I experienced heartbreak was when I was dating this young lady. I was like 14 or 15, head over heels for her. Now, this is high school. Like, you're young, but when you're that young, you still have some very strong feelings and emotions, as you know.
Yeah, you know.
You be something. You be in love, head over heels. And there was this girl that I was rocking for, man. Like, this was somebody, and then this was my first real relationship. Like, we were locked in. And this is actually the girl that, you know, ended up taking my virginity. Like, we were locked in, right? And I remember I was hearing some stuff from some of my teammates around, you know, school. It was like, bro, like, just, you know, keep your eyes open, basically. Like, you know, and I'm like, what y'all talking about? Like, man, I'm like, we straight, ain't nothing to worry about here. Like, we good. Y'all worry about y'all, man. Like, whatever y'all got going on, y'all worry about that. And I remember this very, like, it's fuzzy in my head, but I remember one day, it was like right before basketball practice, and I was getting ready to go to practice, and we always met up after school. And one day I had grabbed her phone just playfully, and I ran into the boys' bathroom with her phone. I'm just playing. When I got in the bathroom, she was freaking out. Give me my phone. What are you doing? Like, why do you have my phone? Like, give me my... To the point she comes in the boys' bathroom. There's boy peeing and everything. They didn't, like, she ain't care. Bro, I'm in the stall and she climbs under the stall and she snatches the phone out of my hand, right? And before she did that, I had seen, like, just some mecca. You know, you freaking out. I'm gonna look.
Yeah, now I'm like,
what you tripping? You should have kept it cool, because then I would have just been like, all right, here you go. But now I'm looking and I'm seeing, like, some messages, like, between, like, a couple of folks, couple of guys.
Shoot.
A couple of them. Yeah. And I was like, and so that's the first time I felt betrayed. I didn't know what that felt like. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm being cheated on, like, this is crazy. And then she tried to gaslight me. I'm like, I saw the messages. She was like, that's just my friend, like, da 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 da. And so I was done. I had broke up with her. And, you know, I had a good relationship with her parents, and so her family's trying to call, you know, and say, like, you know, she didn't mean it, it's okay. And, you know, she was calling and she was, like, really trying to get back in. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I ain't dealing with you no more. So I did deal with heartbreak really, really young, man. And you know, which is interesting, because you think, like, at 15, 16 years old, you don't think you would.
Nah,
like,
that's
exactly
the time when you're really going through it. Yeah. I remember like I told you, like, my fiance, we met when I was 14. But at 18, I told my parents, I said, yo, I'm marrying this girl.
Come on, bro. You knew.
I said, yo, bro.
Yeah, you knew.
Bro, watch at that wedding, bro. They're going to be sick of me, bro. I told her, I said, yo, don't give me.
Crazy.
I said, don't give me that mic, bro. Don't give me that mic. They're going to be sick of me, bro.
Man, that's
Everybody
your wedding
vision, bro.
Wow.
They didn't believe.
Wow.
Maybe they did believe, but they were trying to get me to, like, chill out a little bit. I remember I told my parents, I said, I'm marrying this girl. I can say this confidently because I told so many people that you could ask anybody around me.
Right.
They knew that's what it was.
They knew.
Right?
Yeah.
And so my parents told me, they was like, yo, you gotta relax. Marriage requires money. At 18, I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
Worry about all that.
Money. Like, what money? Like, money for what? I'm like, we can just get married right now. Y'all are old. I don't know what we're talking about. Right? We go into college together and all these different things happen. We end up breaking up and all that. I'm saying all that to say, like, even at 18.
Yeah, you knew.
Like, I knew.
Yeah.
So you could really experience heartbreak
Absolutely.
at 18, 17, 16. That's when you really going through it. So anybody that's a parent of a teenager, this is the time to be on top of them. Like, that's the time to be on top of them, because they really have heavy, deep emotions about things. Like I said, I knew.
Absolutely.
It just wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
But I knew that I knew that was
crazy.
I knew that was the one, bro.
That's crazy. I'm gonna ask you, how did you know?
And you know what's so crazy? Like I told y'all when we first started the episode, I said I knew this was gonna be a good episode because I'm a big energy guy. I've always, even before I was going through my healing journey, I've always been big on energy. I'm very in tune with people's energy.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I was actually thinking about this earlier today. I remember I did a podcast episode with somebody one time, and we've never aired that episode for good reason, but I did an episode with this person, and I remember for 2 days after that, I was angry.
Wow.
But it's because I was so in tune with the person's energy that it was almost like this, it was almost like I
transfer.
you absorbed it. I absorbed it, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
So for 2 days, I couldn't figure out why are you so angry?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you had an episode that didn't go well. You're not gonna air it, but like, this is not something for you to be angry for 2 days.
Right.
There was a lot of displaced anger. So I'm saying all that to say, bro, like Naima's energy, she has a very infectious, like, happy, good energy when she's in that space.
Yeah.
And so anytime I was around, I'm like, damn, like, this feels like home.
Come on, somebody.
Now I'm telling you, bro, it literally felt like home. I could talk to her about anything. I felt comfortable being around her. I never wanted to leave.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so like that in itself, not how she looked, she looked good.
There you go. Yeah, you like, look, yeah.
He didn't help out.
He like, that ain't it though. We go deeper than that. Yeah.
But if we being real, bro.
He like, this ain't my baby beautiful.
Yeah. Nah, fact, bro. But if we being real, it really was her energy, bro. Even now, right? Like, you can tell when somebody has a different energy and vibe.
Oh, man, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when somebody has a different energy and vibe. And I was, not that I was talking to everybody in the world around that time, but I was talking to other people, right? And I realized, like, yo,
they ain't got it.
It's not the same.
No, that wasn't your person. They weren't your person.
Exactly, bro. So her energy was it. That was the first thing that stood out to me. And then on top of that, she had a different mindset. Like, she wasn't thinking the same way as everybody else. And she's rational. My girl is bro. I could tell you, bro.
Yeah.
I am so thankful, bro.
Come on, give her roses. Give her flowers.
She's rational, bro.
Man, yes, sir.
People don't understand. You and I understand.
Absolutely.
We understand how important
come on, bro.
rationality is, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, being able to have a conversation and really be able to say, like, yo, babe, you was kind of bugging there.
Yeah. And she could see where you
and she could be like,
you might have a point. I don't like it.
I'll deal with it.
Yeah, right.
We don't got to get all the way there. As long as you can meet me halfway, be good.
Come on, exactly.
She can meet me halfway, bro.
Man. And it's dude.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I just want to say,
go ahead.
I think people ask me, like, what they ask me all the time, like, what has sustained y'all? Because we just hit 8 years of marriage. Like, what has sustained y'all? People are getting divorced left and right. Y'all got married at 22. And I say it all the time. I was like, if you have the ability, one, to communicate, and two, to take accountability for your actions and be willing to change, you will be okay. Now, there's a lot of other things that go with that, right? Like, we have a friend, that's my best friend over there. We got a friendship like you. Like, your person is your person. Like, she's my person. That's why I said we got married so young. They're like, how you know you ain't even know what love is? Or you know what love is when you found your person, right? For sure. But that accountability piece is so important. And rationality is actually the cornerstone of accountability, because you can actually sit there and say, okay, all right, I did mess up there and I could do a little bit better. Right? I can see what you. I don't like you right now, but I can work on that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is just incredibly important in progressing in a marriage, in a relationship, bro.
Yeah.
So I get you that, or I get you on that.
I know you do, bro. I know you do, bro. I knew when I said it, bro, you would understand it, bro. So like, anytime, I know even if we in conflict, we gonna be good.
Absolutely, man.
And I think that's what a lot of men struggle with when they get into relationships. They don't know how conflict is going to play out. They don't know how things are going to be communicated when people are at odds.
Yeah.
How that's going to play out. And so, like, for me, I don't got to worry about that.
Nah, man.
I know that even if we in conflict, we going to be good. I ain't got to really stress out about stuff too much. I know she'll come around, and then we'll basically have a conversation and be straight, bro. So, yeah, man, like, her energy, but like a lot of like just being able to like see that she's rational, a lot of different things too, bro. Just, how she is with people. I'm as much as like we having this podcast and I'm talking and we laughing and all. Bro, if you saw me on the street, I'd probably walk right by you. I ain't gonna lie. Because I'm a very like introverted person.
I could tell. I picked up on that when I walked in.
Word. Okay.
Because you got to fill it out. You fill out the room a little bit. You take your time. I noticed. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you picked up on that. Yeah. So I'm a very introverted person, and she's not like that. She's kind of like that now.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Because I've known her for so long.
Yeah.
I've known the different versions of her. So sometimes I mix up. You know what I'm saying? In the past, she was very extroverted. She was way more extroverted than me. Now I'm kind of having to like assume the extroverted role a little bit sometimes because she's a little bit more shy now. So she's growing into different versions of herself. But like initially, that's kind of what attracted us is like me being introverted.
Right.
Her like liking to go out and do all these different kind of things. So like I can really just chill in a space. Like if she was in here, I wouldn't need to talk and say too much. Right? Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. When you went to the bathroom, I'm like, fuck, what do I say to Samantha? Like, what the fuck?
Look, I knew Samantha was gonna say something, so
right.
I was like,
bro, Darrel, don't leave, bro. Leave. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Can I come in there with you?
Bro, please. I just stand in the corner, bro. Please.
Yo, that's hilarious.
No, I'm telling you though, like that's how introverted I am, bro.
That's good.
You feel me?
But
so
you
like,
know yourself though.
Yo, I know my limits. You know what I'm saying? I can sit here and have a conversation with you for 2.5 hours. We can talk about me being suicidal and anxiety and depression and all that. The moment you leave me in here one-on-one with somebody, bro.
Wow.
What are we doing?
Wow.
Nah, come on.
It's so interesting.
Give it a stack with you, bro. Nah, for real.
That is
so like I can come off as very extroverted.
Yeah.
I know how to turn it on.
Yeah.
I've practiced it a lot, but if you ask me where I naturally want to be,
just chilling.
Right. I want to be chilling. Bro.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
That's why when people be like, yo, come out to this mix and come out to this event tonight. I'm like, bro, you like, no, I ain't.
He's like, when I get there, I ain't talking to nobody.
Bro, if I get there. Girl, I ain't getting there most of the time. I keep the stack with you. Somebody invited me out. We know the event that's going on right now. Somebody invited me out yesterday. I said, man, little do he know I am not coming to this thing, bro. Not because it's not a good vibe and a good thing for me to network at, but like I'm not going.
That is hilarious.
I got to text. It reminded me. I got to text him today. Yo, bro, my bad, bro. Because I'm not going. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, bro.
He's like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
And bro, I know I'm talking a lot about my personal stuff.
No, I love it, bro.
But for real though, like even in this space, I find myself realizing like I got to be more, like I have to be able to network more, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's why like I like reaching out to folks like you. And, you know, having conversations with y'all because like it helps me to actually, this is a cheat code for me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because I know I can do the podcast.
Yeah.
Now we sit and we learn more about each other. It's a cool environment. I ain't gotta be around 30, 50 people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then later on, we could text and we talk about stuff. Maybe we got something going on. And I'll pull up to that, maybe talk to a few more people. I make it work for me. You feel me? So I always tell people the podcast, as much as it's for the audience, is really for me.
That's good.
That's why I ask you the question that I ask you. Like I know it's gonna help other people, but I'm really trying to figure out how the hell we do this life meeting thing.
Man,
bro.
that's good, bro.
You feel me? So now I appreciate you being here, man. I want to ask you a couple more questions.
Please, bro. I'm here.
Okay, I appreciate that, bro. The one question I want to ask you is: have you ever had a time? And I feel like I know the answer, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Was there ever a time in your life where you felt deeply misunderstood? And if there was, what was it?
Dude, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Oh man, it's been a few times, but I feel compelled to talk about specifically my time in the military.
Okay.
Growing up, as you know, man, it was very difficult, but I've always been a very just confident person.
Yeah.
You know, one thing my mom did instill in me is, you know, like you are smart. You are, you know, you look good. She made sure I got my hair cut. You know, she made sure that she loved me in that way. We had our issues, but I think from that, like, I've just been a confident kid. And so when I joined the military and I realized that like the work that had to be done was something that I was more than willing to do, whether it was like training, whether it was like leadership opportunities, volunteering my time to do stuff, learning a new skill, teaching a class, whatever the case may be. I went after it because it had nothing on the mess that I went through as a kid. So I'm like, I'm going after it. And I climbed the ranks really fast. Like I joined and I was just like, all the leadership was very impressed with me. You know, they gave me opportunities, but a lot of people looked at me like, not a lot of people, I would say some of my peers became jealous and they kind of looked at me like, this dude's so confident. Like he got it all together. Like he got the beautiful girl. He got this and that, like, you know, and, oftentimes people tell me now, especially some of my friends, you know, in the service who know me now, but back then they kind of judged me. They were like, bro, we thought you was just like arrogant and confident, like just not confident, arrogant and just like, you know, full of yourself or whatever. Like, but like, as we got to know you, like, man, you couldn't be more further than that from anybody we know. Like you were just getting after it and doing what you had to do. And so, when I meet people now, even as I climb like up in the social media space and different things like that, you know, people often tell me like, we just don't know if you were very, you know, you're approachable, you know, or, you know, you kind of give off like you got it all together. Like, you know, the planning and the traveling and the businesses and the this and the that. And I'm like, bro, if y'all knew my story, if y'all knew the things I've had to fight through and really just keep this mindset, I said, my confidence is really rooted in Christ. That's where it's rooted at. And so a lot of times I've been misunderstood on that front. It's like, you know, and I hate that. And I find myself, I'm like, dang, I don't want to shrink myself down so people don't feel uncomfortable or so people feel comfortable. But I also don't want people thinking that like you know, I'm this person, right? So in that way, I've been misunderstood for sure. And then when I was a kid, I was just misunderstood because, you know, just everything I was going through. And I try to portray myself as the cool kid in school. I would try to be the class clown that sometimes if I saw somebody doing something cool, I would try to copy them to be accepted and stuff like that. And I would get bullied and stuff like that, right? But it's because I just wanted to feel like a normal kid. So those two things I was saying.
Bro, I appreciate you sharing, bro. I got one last question for you. For sure. For the black man right now that's struggling, that's dealing with maybe financial pressure in his relationship or just not really where he wants to be, feeling like he's in a position where he wants to get better but doesn't really know how to get better. Whatever comes to your mind, bro, what would you say to the black man that's struggling? It could be about anything. I know I gave you some examples, but it could be about anything. And I just want you to speak directly to that camera, not to me. Just tell them what you think they need to hear.
Everything that you've gone through, and I said this earlier, but everything that you've gone through in your life is a direct connection between what you went through and where God is taking you and where life is taking you. And where you are right now is an opportunity for you to face it directly head on, whether it's your finances, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your work situation, where it's the lack of any of those things, and say, I'm going to come up with a game plan and I'm going to get myself around the right people so I can get my life on track. Whether that's getting mentorship, ask the right questions. I put out a video the other day. I said, the squeaky wheel gets to grease, which means that the person who asks the questions, the person who seeks the information, the person who goes to the network, it might be scared. You might be scared. You might be nervous. It might be outside of your comfort zone. But the answer lies in you going after it. The answer lies in you doing something about it. So don't sit there and soak in it. Like I can sit here and soak in everything that I went through with my mom, everything I went through in my childhood. I can say that, you know, the reason that I lash out at my wife is because my mom lashed out at me. It's like, no, I had to focus on what I needed to fix, how I needed to empty those skeletons and become a better person for her as a husband, how I needed to become a better person for my finances and for my future. And the way that I did that is I asked the questions, I got around the right people, and I faced it head on. And so wherever you are right now, don't sit in it, don't soak in it, don't feel bad for yourself. Right now, it's your responsibility to fix that. You probably have 50 or more summers left on this planet. I just want you to think about that for a moment. You have maybe 50 more summers. I'm 30. If I live to be 80, I got 50 more summers left. That's not a very long time. And so it's going to be highs and lows. Right now is the time to start fixing it, come up with a plan, execute that plan. It's not going to be perfect, but at least if you have something squared away, if it breaks, you can pick it up, put it back together, and keep it moving. So like I said, just face it, ask the right questions, get around the right people. I promise you, you're going to be good, bro. I promise you. Absolutely.
Darrel, bro, tell the people where they can find you, how they can tap in with you, how they can get the life planning, the blueprint,
absolutely,
everything, bro.
Yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Durelle Bailey. That's DURELLEBAILEY. Follow me on there. I'm gonna be every morning during the week. I post motivational stuff. I get up every morning at 4:15. I'm in the gym by 5:30. After I get out of the gym, I go to my car and I post a motivational message to help you get started for your day. And then I go to work. I'm in the military. I get off, I go home, I work on content, I work on business, I go to sleep, I do the same thing over again, but I'm always putting out content to inspire, to motivate, to give people a blueprint to really move forward in their lives. So let's lean in, let's sharpen some iron, let's make it happen, man.
Do you have the link for the planning? Like where they get
Yep. So you can go to theplanningplaybook.com. Go to theplanningplaybook.com. Or you can just go to my Instagram bio, click on the Instagram bio. There's a link there and you can get all the products. We put a course together in New York 2 months ago, and you can purchase the whole course on how to actually structure your entire meeting. Yeah, we did a whole course.
I didn't know you had the course.
Yeah, okay. We did a course.
All right.
It's only an hour long, and it goes through every single step from mindset all the way into how to structure your templates. All of it. So you can tap in there.
So you can get the course and then get you the spreadsheet too.
Yep.
You got it as a bundle right now?
Yeah. So you know what? On the website, I'm pretty sure we have it as a bundle, but I'm not sure. We do have it as a month. We do have it as a month.
You have it as a bundle. Go get that bundle.
Yeah.
Go get that bundle. And then by the time you said August, right?
Yeah. August.
This should probably release after August. So if y'all know how y'all do it, the Blueprint Circle, it's probably gonna be it's gonna be in your bio, right? Okay.
There's going to be a link in my bio. Okay. I'm going to be pushing it, when I'm going to create reels for the marketing. You can just type in whatever word in my comments. I'm going to send you the link so you can sign up that way.
Sounds good. So, Durelle Bailey.
Yeah, man.
Bro, I appreciate you.
Dude, I appreciate you, man. And thank you for doing what you do, bro. It is absolutely impactful, man. And this is a pleasure, bro. This is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you are planning an event or you are part of your organization's Black employee group and you are interested in having dope Black mental health professionals or myself come in and do a speaking engagement or a workshop or a keynote address or a panel, please click the link in our bio on Instagram or TikTok, scroll down and click book us for speaking and brand deals and fill out the form available on our website. Once you fill out the form, one of our team members will get back to you about how we can collaborate and create something dope for your organization. This is an unparalleled opportunity. We are currently the largest Black men's mental health platform, and we have a few slots available for our calendar year, and we would love to partner with you to create something dope for your organization if it makes sense for both parties, right? So go to the link in our bio, scroll down, click book us for speaking and brand deals, and fill out that form. If you're not on Instagram, the link should be linked in our description of this episode. And it is also on our website. If you go to expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. That's expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. If you are looking for a therapist, a Black therapist, and you've had a hard time finding one, you've jumped from therapist to therapist, or you just don't know how to find a therapist, we are teaching a free webinar. It's completely free, taking you from not knowing how to find a therapist, not knowing where to search for therapists, struggling with finding good therapists for you, not knowing what to look for in therapists, teaching you all of those different things, and also giving you the opportunity at the end of the webinar to be connected with one of our safe haven healers who are Black mental health professionals so that you do not have to go through the struggles of finding a Black therapist alone anymore, right? So if you're interested in that, you want to get connected with a Black mental health professional at the end of the webinar, or you just want to learn how to find a Black therapist by yourself, you can sign up for the free webinar. It's linked in our bio on Instagram and TikTok. You just click that free webinar link once you click the link in our bio and fill out the form. You can also find it on our website at expressyourselfblackman.com/links and fill out the form there for our next webinar session. If you're not interested in any of that, right, but you know someone that may be interested in it, all we ask is that you please share it If you want some of the merch that we show on the platform all the time, that we're wearing on the platform all the time, you can shop it at shop.expressyourselfblackman.com. And once again, we just want to say thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please, if you are on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please leave a review. It helps us out greatly. Thank you so much for your support. We're wishing you nothing but the best and sending you and your family and your loved ones love and light. Peace.
Sometimes I know you feel like you ain't got nobody to speak to. A shoulder to lean on somebody you could preach to. No, you need to hear it, my brother, I love you. We got way too much to live for. We got way too much to